my name is Daniel, and last year I built a cabin in the woods. But this year I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna try to rebuild this old wooden sailboat that I found in a scrapyard. Morning. Monday morning. And let's see what we got here. 21 degrees. After watching the video from last week, first thing first. Okay, let's see what we got today. So I finished this side last week. I could go with the bulkhead, needs a bit of tidying up there. And that is just half a bulkhead. I need a post here as well. And the whole side here. Or the back side. Or we could finish the V-berth. Ooh. Need to make that repair as well. I'm gonna start with that. I'm not built for this. If you remember those towels that were in the hull when I got her, they were there to keep the planking moist, and I've seen she's starting to dry up. You can probably see that here. See that? That's okay, because she will go back once you put her in the water, but this is also a perfect time to give her a treatment of oil. So whenever I do a bulkhead, I've told myself that I have to give her a good scraping and linseed oil treatment. I think she deserves that. I'm glad it's over, because it's really hot in here. Okay, so I've been thinking about moving forward, and it's getting a bit cramped here. I'm gonna have to scooch the engine back a bit, and to do that I have to take down the last original bulkhead. Now it may seem confusing that I'm keeping all this old decking in an intrusive way of what I'm building, but the idea is that if I leave everything old, it's gonna keep her together, and if I take too much out, she could collapse. Now that I want to take the last bulkhead out, I'm going to put a strap around her like I did back here. Back here the strap didn't do anything good. It compressed her about 5 millimeters from that side to that side, so basically nothing. But here it could be more important. So first the strap, then take the bulkhead, unscrew the engine and scooch her back, or front a bit, so I can work here at the center cockpit, because the saloon is going to be the last thing that I do anyway, so I can have the engine there. And then I can scooch her back again in her proper position, which is probably, well, I don't know, 40-50 centimeters back, or front, back from where I'm standing. So I can clear this bulkhead here, which is the divider between the aft cabin and the center cockpit. Yeah. Remember that old rope? The booms. There she is. Here we go. I wonder why this is not chalked. Anyway. Do this. Okay, so what they did here, actually pretty clever. You know, all the bulkheads I've been making there to stiffen her up, to prevent her from squeezing, right? Put them in the gap between a frame, so that frame can't collapse upon itself. Yeah. But this old thing here that I thought was sloppy built, it's actually pretty smart. It divides the pressure force or the pulling, pressure or pulling, upon two frames. So they use this really heavy piece of timber to divide that pushing and pulling from this, well, it's not a bulkhead, but it's a beam. You see a gap here. So it has separated with about 1 centimeter. I haven't checked the other side yet, but we can tell that the hull has collapsed 1 centimeter. Clock. So that tells me that perhaps I should try to squeeze it back, or just accept that this is the new position. But it's good to remember. I don't dare to touch this now. Not right now. So I'm going to keep this as long as I can. The under, I don't think it's the same. It's moving. This is rock hard. But this one is moving, so I think I can take this away. But yeah, there you go. This is the whole reason why I don't demolish the whole thing in the first place. I just take it step by step. Okay, let's move on carefully. Morning. So something happened yesterday. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't bring my camera because, you know, I was just gonna have a look in there, and one thing led to another, and now I have 2 grown kids and no bulkhead here. But the interesting part was the old bulkhead, or it was actually just a beam, kind of strengthened beam from this position here to, well, I took it away now, but up here. I would say this is a very important spot. It's the last place before we get to the open saloon that has no bracing across. And the original boat builder thought the same, so they made a very strong beam here. I made a temporary one until I can get the engine out, and the engine is loose. So I just have to take away that last piece of concrete. If you remember from episode 2 or something, all these were full with concrete. So I'm going to take the last one out and pull the engine front. It's going to work. graceful. Kakan ligger. I woke up with some fever today, so I'm both daft and weak. So yeah, I'm trying to pry this plank off, the first plank. I believe you call it garboard plank. Because yeah, yesterday I figured that we have to address that keel issue that we have. So I want to have a look and see if I can understand how it's built and give an estimate of how much work it would be to do a full keel replacement. I've read an article about it. It says about 800 hours. That's more than I have invested so far in the boat, and economically it still would make sense to sell the engine and the parts that I have to break even and buy a new project. Would still make sense. But on the other hand, I'm not doing this to be rational about it. I mean, a full keel replacement, that would be good. A good thing to have done, but it will throw me back about 3 months. And also I got into this because I wanted to build a boat interior. Doing heavy woodwork is what I did in the forest with the cabin, and this is pretty much just one huge oak log that I have to mill somehow and make it fit. I would have to drop the ballast keel. That's about 3 tons metrics, I believe. Just, you know, guessing. I have to drop it, which means I have to take out all the keel bolts and somehow raise the hull about, well, I guess it would do with just a couple of centimeters, but the more the better, to give me some room to work here. So that's the theory. Can I drop the ballast keel and raise the hull enough to drop the timber keel, get a new one here? It's a log. I don't know if it's scarred, could be, but if not, that's a log of 9 meters that has to be milled. and then put in there. These are just stacked thick planks, and I have to replace pretty much all of them, and probably the aft stem too. This is dumb. But first thing first, get this plank off to see what we got. I believe these are stainless nails. They look horrible on the inside. Someone told me that stainless steel needs air to work, not to rust. They look pretty good here, but on the inside it's just, there's nothing left of them. Then you have the copper ribbons, and I can drill those out, that's easier, but these are horrible, and I don't want to drill them out because that would leave the nail inside the frame, so I want to pull them out. And I also want to keep the plank fairly unbroken if it's possible, because it's a weird shape and I can use it as a mold or whatever. I got the ribbon. Oh yeah. Oh, hello. This is the worst part.